Hey guys, Core Ross and 106 News. So we've got a brand new operator coming into Rainbow Six Siege, a brand new 3-speed defender, and she is going to be rocking things up, I think. So let's go over this new season, which is called North Star. And this new season brings in a rework of Favela. It's also going to bring in a bunch of balancing changes, but in this video we're going to go over the brand new defending operator who is called Thunderbird. So she is a 3-speed 1 armor. She has an assault rifle, so she's got a spear. Now this is only equipped with 1x scopes, so it's not the best gun for defenders. It's also kind of a slow fire rate, but it's a good solid weapon as well. And of course this was only on Finca before. Thunderbird's other primary weapon is the Spaz 15, which of course is a semi-automatic shotgun, and then for secondaries she's got the Baron 9 and the Q929 handgun. Now the Baron 9 has had an actual improvement in recoil, so it should be easier to control. Be interesting to get your hands on it when the test server actually goes live, and the test server will be going up on the 25th of May. And then for secondary gadgets, she's got impact grenades or nitro cell. So I would say this is a pretty competitive loadout and does give you some good options. Now let's talk primary gadget. So she has basically what is a combination of Jaeger's active defense and Doc's stim pistol. And it's this little thing that you put down. You've got 3 of them, and if a defender or an attacker walks up to it and gets into the 2-meter radius, they will be healed for 30 health. And if they're already at maximum health, it'll overheal as well. And I should also mention, because it's relevant to this, that they're changing the armor and health system in this season. So the damage reduction from armor is being completely deleted from the game, and instead the base health of an operator has gone up. So a 3-speed will have 100 health, but if you've got 2 armor or 3 armor, you actually get more health when you spawn at the start of the game, and you can get healed up higher and overhealed higher with gadgets like this. Now I've had about 5 days of early access to play this new operator, so I'm going to give you a rundown of how her gadget works and how she plays as well, and where she might fit in with the game in the future. So let's start with the gadget. It works like a Jaeger active defense system. You place it down on a horizontal surface. You cannot place it on walls, but you can place it down on tables, you can place it down on anything flat. And you've got 3 of them. So it's very similar to Jaeger. You place them down and you can just forget about them if you want to. However, they will heal anyone who comes close to them within a 2-meter radius. So that is attackers or defenders. It can also facilitate revives as well, and revived players will come back with 30 health. Now the interesting part about the revive is that you can crawl up to this device, you can get boosted by it, but you choose when you actually get revived. So you can then crawl really far away, so maybe you're just in a bad place where if you stand up you're going to get shot. You can then crawl off outside the room, then revive yourself. It's kind of curious. However, if you're not injured, it will heal you for 30, or if you're already at full health, it will give you an overheal. It also then goes into a long cooldown of about 35 seconds before it'll be able to do another heal. And that charging time is shown up on the HUD for all defenders, because you can see where the device is and the charge up time that's left. Thunderbird can also shave 10 seconds off the recharge time by picking it up and putting it back down again, but of course that is very risky. It's also got some onboard logic, so for instance, if an attacker and defender are within its radius at the same time, it will prioritize the defender. But if there's 2 defenders, then it will prioritize the lowest health defender and give them the health boost. So it's a somewhat smart device, but of course if an attacker walks into its radius, it will heal the attacker, which of course you don't really want to happen. But certainly if you are an attacker, you want to prioritize capturing this device rather than destroying it, because it can become a very good tool for your team to heal up. However, there is a downside to that tactic. This device shows up on everybody's HUD on defense. That means if you're a defender, you can see this thing through the wall, you can see that it's charging up. It also means you can see when it heals someone, and if you don't see any of your defender team nearby, you know there's an enemy there. So it is an intel gadget as well if the enemy decide to hang around it and use it to heal up, and with that long charge up time for every heal, it means you can potentially set up an ambush once you know where they are. And then the gadget itself has very simple interactions with other operators. So for instance, you can shoot it, you can melee it, you can destroy it with a taser drone. There's a lot of stuff you can do to destroy it because it is very, very vulnerable. And you can also EMP it to disable it for a short amount of time, which is of course good if you're doing, say, a push into an objective. You can throw an EMP in so that the defenders don't get any heals while you're pushing in. But of course, when they come back online, if you've taken the site, you can get healed up, which is of course advantageous for you. And that brings us round to gameplay. So how does this operator perform? Is she fun to play? And what kind of tactics is her gadget useful for? So let's start with the simple. You can just throw these gadgets on the ground and then leave. That's your job done. You're now useful even if you're dead. The defenders holding down the site can get free heals, and it is brilliant. But if you wanted to mix it up, you could make roamer recovery stations where you go and hide these in different areas of the map that are less travelled by attackers depending on the objective you've chosen, so that your roamers can just pop in at any moment and get a heal. And of course it's on their HUD, so they know where it is, they know that when it's charged up, and they can just pop in and get a heal. Or if you wanted to get more advanced, you can have these next to windows, so that if you are going to do runouts with defenders, then your defenders, as soon as they do their runout, are going to instantly get an overheal just before they pop out of the building. So that again is another advantage right there. Not to mention that Thunderbird also has a nitro cell, which means you can place one of these healing stations above you, then put a nitro cell underneath it, and then just watch the HUD for when an attacker decides to stroll on over and get a free heal, but actually to be surprised with a free explosion instead. But that brings us round to the conclusion I have for this operator after playing her for 5 days. And the simplest way of putting this is that she is Jaeger. Like literally, she is just Jaeger, but can heal people. And that's it. Like she's even better than Jaeger because she's 3-speed. So she's fun to play, she's low maintenance, she's easy. There's not really much thought that you had to put into it. Now, of course, the devices can be taken over by the enemy and they can use them to heal themselves, which is not great. But that's all about placement. As long as you're not too dumb with them, the defenders know where they are, they can see them on the HUD. You don't have to communicate with any of your defenders. They know where they can go and get a heal very quickly. You don't even have to communicate with your roamers as well. Like you can have all 3 of these on, say, a basement level out of the way that your defenders can just drop into at any point to get 90 health from all 3 stations. So it's insanely useful and very, very powerful, I think. Now, I don't think she's going to be overpowered. I don't think she'll like replace Jaeger, because still stopping frag grenades and stuff like that is still a far better kind of gadget set than just doing simple heals. But if you're setting up, see, pretty much all the time like Mira strats and stuff like this, having one of these behind a Mira is going to end up being extraordinarily useful and help to keep defenders alive for far longer. And I actually see her having a larger impact on the lower skilled games, where the actual pace of those games is a little bit slower, so multiple heals might go off. Whereas if you're in a higher ranked game and the progress is quite quick, literally these devices might only get off 1 or 2 heals per round at most. Whereas the lower skill games with a little bit more time involved might actually see a lot of players getting back to full health before the round is over. But anyway guys, that's a rundown of the new Operator Thunderbird for defense that is coming with the new season North Star. Now of course I keep wanting to say Operation North Star, but they ditched Operation last season. It's a real pity. I love Operation in front of it. But yeah, this is the new season North Star. There's also a whole bunch of balancing changes and other stuff and the reworked map and all that I'll be going over in depth with the 6 News channel. There's going to be a roundup of all those changes that I'll try and compact into a nice simple video for you. But anyway guys, that's it for this video. If you want to support this channel, I've got a Patreon. You can join on YouTube or you can subscribe, all the good stuff. Anyway guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.